Okay.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are well today. It's not letting me see everybody on my screen, even though it's supposed to, but I can just say hi to everybody. Hi, Angel. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Isaac. Hi, Jade. Hi, John. Hi, Travis. Happy to see
Hola.
you. Hola. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. And my friends who come late can just kind of catch up. Hi, Kiara. Okay, here we are. So we're talking about origin stories. That's where we're going to go today. And but first, I want to do an activity with you guys that we'll probably do frequently. It's called What's Going On in This Picture. So I'm going to copy a link and I'm going to paste it in our chat. And you guys can go here and look at this picture on your own. Or, okay, why is it not letting me see my chat? Well, hang on, there we go. Okay. All right, there we go. So there's the chat. It's the New York Times. And you guys should be able to go there and see it. When I click on it, this is what it shows me. What's going on in this picture? And so the New York Times has taken a picture and they've taken the caption away. So we don't have any information about it. All we know is this picture. So what I would like you guys to do is I would like you to tell me what you see happening in this picture. And then what do you see that makes you think that's what's happening? All right. So what's going on in this picture and why do you think that? Go ahead, Jade. You're muted, darling. There you go.
There it goes. Well, you can see that the what's it called? They are like doing school or virtual school.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because of the laptops, and it's a group of younger people together.
Okay.
So it looks like it's probably a study group, but they're outside, obviously following the rules, wearing masks. But they're doing it. I wonder why they're doing it on the side of the road. I don't think the motorcycle is exactly important in that photo, but it doesn't seem that it is. They're near
stealing money from somewhere else because they don't have any.
Maybe, Alden. I think what Alden was adding is that maybe they're using the internet there because they don't have it somewhere else. Is that right?
Well, yeah, not stealing, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like we can't see what's outside this picture. Maybe there's a tower or something. And so you're inferring that they don't have it at a home, maybe?
There was a picture of like a lady like behind the Walmart, like where all the carts were, and like it's like with the Chromebooks out, and they're hiding to like get the kids so they can go to school.
Yeah. A lot of people are having to do that. You know, they're going to Taco Bell and McDonald's parking lots. Some church, I mean, that's all over the country. Some churches in our city, I know, and the Boys and Girls Clubs have opened so students can go there and have access to Wi-Fi. It's a problem. Cameron, did you have something to add? Okay.
Yeah. This picture?
Yeah. You were just unmuted, so I thought you might have something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, these people look like they're homeless of some sort.
Okay, why do you think that?
Because they're on the side of the road. I mean, why would they be on the side of the road? They got a little notebook over there and some headsets.
Yeah, they do.
And they got the laptop, so I don't think they're homeless now.
Okay.
But they is doing schoolwork.
Yeah, right. So the notebook's a good catch on why they might be in school. We can't really see, oh, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the girl in the brown jacket sitting on notebooks.
Yeah, like right down here. Yeah. And we can't really see how old they are. We're assuming that they're in school, but why can't we tell they look young?
Because of their religion.
Well, maybe, yeah. I was thinking because their faces are covered. I can't see how old they are because I don't have a clear picture of their face. But religion might have something to do with this, Cameron. What evidence do you have for that? What do you see that makes you think religion is at play?
Because they're not allowed to show their hair because of their religion.
Okay, right. So we've got I think it's called a hijab over their head, right? And right, so they might be practicers, probably are practicers of Islam, right? The motorcycle, Jade, which seems insignificant, I actually think gives us some information too. Let's look at that road. Where do you think this picture is taking place? Like where in the world?
India.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Okay, so not in America is what I'm hearing.
No.
In America, a lot of our streets are paved with lines on them, or they have curbs, right? This could be in America, but it's got some jungle and the road is not, this road's paved, but it's not marked. This road doesn't even look paved. So it's probably not in a city. I mean, obviously, I don't know what's right outside the picture, but I'm assuming that this isn't a city. Okay, well, you know, we see a lot going on. And that idea of drawing conclusions, but then looking for the evidence to support them is something we'll be doing a lot in class. On Friday, they'll release the caption, and so I'll tell you guys what the caption of this picture is, but we might revisit it again on Wednesday. Just, you know, have you thinking, what are our perceptions of this and why are those our perceptions? And I have no idea what the caption is myself, so I'm making the same kind of inferences y'all are. Okay, so that was our little activity. Okay, so we've been talking about origins, and that is the point or place where something begins and where we come from as a people, as humanity, as a community, and where we come from individually. So I want to talk to you guys about the Iroquois. The Iroquois is a group of six, or it's a collective of 6 separate Native American groups who live mostly in what is New York State today, so the northeast of our country. And those groups are the Seneca, the Cayuga, the Oneida, the Onondaga, the Mohawk, and the Tuscarora. That last group actually lives in North Carolina, or that's where their land was. And these groups came together collectively because they spoke a similar language, they had similar beliefs, and they followed similar ways of life, including living in longhouses. So if you think of like an army barracks or maybe a barn, but if you don't know what longhouses are, but they're these really long houses where up to 50 people lived at once. The Iroquois League, this group of those 6, 6 Native American groups, they disagreed amongst themselves during the Revolutionary War. So that kind of sameness that made them a solid league broke apart a little bit. Some of them wanted to support the colonists who were, you know, revolting against the British Crown, and others wanted to support Great Britain. But today, they've kind of come back together collectively, and they're pretty active now in fighting for environmental protection and for a recognition by the U.S. government. They have, lots of these groups still have tribal lands, and they want the U.S. government to recognize that and not come onto their land unless they are allowed. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Iroquois. We are going to read a story called World on a Turtle's Back. It is a an Iroquois creation myth. So it's going to describe how the universe, the earth, and life began. It's going to explain the workings of our natural world, and it's going to support and validate social customs and values. So as we're reading this story, I want you guys to look for evidence of those things in there. All right. How does it tell you how the universe or life on Earth began? It's also going to reveal some things about the theme and culture of the Iroquois. So if you want to really get into this, I don't know how really into this you are, but if you want to really get into this, imagine the story being read aloud, because that's how this story was passed down for centuries, for hundreds of years. They didn't write it down. They spoke this aloud. So what mysteries of nature or details about creation do you find in the story? What inferences can you make about social values or customs taught through the characters and situations? So by reading this, what do you think the Iroquois valued? And then what other details about the Iroquois culture can you find? So those are kind of the two different things you'll be doing while you read this. What makes this a creation myth? And then also, what does this tell us about the Iroquois people? Do you have any questions so far? Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to read and annotate World on a Turtle's Back using Kami, which is a program. I cannot remember if I had you guys download Scribble and work with that or not. If I did, I'm sorry. This Kami I found this weekend, and it actually works better with Google Classroom. So we're going to try Kami. And then you're going to respond to the question in the Google Classroom. So let me show you what that looks like. So here I am in our Google Classroom, and I'm going to go to classwork. And you will see in Unit 1 a couple of things. There's our class slide decks, which has this slide presentation I'm giving to you right now. There is World on a Turtle's Back with a question mark in front of it. That's the question. That's the last thing you're going to do. And then there's this assignment, World on a Turtle's Back. So when I pull it up, it says, and one of you's already turned it in. It says that I want you to read and annotate this text and use the questions on the side of the page to guide your annotation. I want you to be on the lookout for characteristics of origin stories, the central message of the story, and any questions or confusing items that you might have. And then it's also got this Kami and Google codes sheet. So how do you work Kami? So when the sheet comes up, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the Kami Google Chrome extension in your Google Chrome browser and add to Chrome button. So let me put this in the link, in the chat for you guys. I'll let you guys go now to that assignment and you'll see all this come up. That did not link. So go to our Google Classroom, go to Unit 1, and go to the assignment. It looks like a clipboard, World on a Turtle's Back. And then pull up the Kami Remote Learning for Students. So step 1 is to install the extension. And you're going to add it. So it should look something like this. I already have it, so mine says remove from Chrome, but yours should say add. So far, so good? No response, so I'm assuming yes. Okay, so then the next thing you do is you go to our classroom, you go to classwork, you open your assignment, and you should see something that says preview with Kami. So I'm going to click on the World on a Turtle's Back, and at the very top, it says open with Kami. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to click open with Kami. And it's going to take me here. So this is the text, and now I can annotate on it. And it pulls up this menu for me. All right, I can highlight words. I can box a section. I can strike through words. I can underline words. That's how I mark it up. I can also make comments, right? So what I want you to do is, this first page is about the Iroquois, which I just explained to y'all. The second page is about creation myths and reading folk literature, which I also just explained to you guys. What you're going to do is you're going to read, and as you read, you're going to see questions in the margin. So creation myths. So far, how is this myth similar to and different from other accounts of creation you've heard or read? Explain your answers, citing details. So what I would do is I highlighted this in yellow, so I know that the answer is also going to be in yellow. And this has a red letter A, and here's the red letter A. So I know somewhere around this red letter A, I'm going to find some information. And as I'm reading, it says, in the middle of the sky world, there grew a great tree, which was not like any of the trees we know. And I'm thinking about the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve, and there's a tree in that origin story, that creation story. So I highlighted great tree in yellow. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to read through this text, and I want you to highlight the answers to the questions as you go. When you are done with all of that, you will come back to the classroom. You will turn in your Cami and Google assignment, and then you're going to come to the question. And the question is right from the book. It says, creation stories often serve many purposes. Does this creation story do these things? And then you will view the question and you will submit it. And after other people submit, you can go back and respond to what they say if you would like. Okay, when you are responding to what people say, make sure you just focus on the text of the question and not the person itself. Like, no, Miss Ritchie, you're so dumb. That's not what the text says at all. You know, you want to be really, it can be tough to interact with your peers and share your writing. So I just want to make sure you're really respectful and stick with the text. You could say something like, Miss Ritchie, I think this quote says it better, or something like that. Okay, both of those are due tomorrow at midnight. So here is the assignment. So you're going to read and annotate World on a Turtle's Back using Cami. You're going to respond to the question in the classroom, and both of those are due at midnight. If you understand all of this and feel comfortable doing this, you can get off and start working. If you have questions, you can pop back in the chat. I'll be here. If you would like to stay here because you have questions, that's fine. I'll be answering questions. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to start reading the story with y'all. And I'll pause when we get to the questions so that you guys can answer on Cami, okay? So if you want to do a read aloud for the remaining time that we have together, you can. If you'd like to work on your own, you can. If you've got questions, let me know.